Knees caving together when squatting isn't just about weak glutes. Well, that can be part of the picture. It more so has to do with instability of the foot and then poor control of your hip as you descend through the squat. If your foot is unstable when doing a squat or really any sort of weightlifting, you will always see compensations up the leg as a result. So specifically the knees moving inward, what happens at the foot is the arch collapses and then you move into what's called pronation. Now as the arch collapses, the knee is always going to follow inward regardless of how strong your hip is. This is why strengthening the glutes alone is never going to fix this problem. What we should focus on is maintaining constant pressure through the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, and then the heel throughout that entire squatting motion. What this will do is it will force us to maintain contact at every part of the foot, meaning that your foot will have a little bit more stability. Now with that, you'll want to focus on very slow intentional reps, making sure you maintain that contact throughout the entire range of motion. If done correctly, the foot should not move at all. On that note, if you squat in a running shoe, you will always have a somewhat unstable base of support. We need to squat or do any weightlifting in a weightlifting shoe or something stable. You can even go without a shoe, but you want a stable base of support. That way we can avoid unwanted compensation. When it comes to hip stability, I think a great way to train this is with single leg exercises. Because we're only on one leg, the outside glutes have to stabilize and keep the pelvis neutral. If the pelvis is tipping downward, that means that those muscles are not firing and that you're not stable. This is the same type of stability we want when squatting, but because with the squat you have two legs planted, you'll see this compensation as the knees moving inward instead of the pelvis dropping. Like I said, a single leg Romanian deadlift is a great option, or you could do any sort of single leg squat or a single leg step down. If you think about it, this is really more so a coordination and motor control problem. Something like that cannot be fixed overnight. It takes intentional repetitions over time for your body to learn how to properly coordinate as you go through that motion. Now we need to make a distinction between controlled and uncontrolled inward movement of the knees. If you look at elite powerlifters, you might notice at the bottom of their squat, their knees will move inward a little bit. This is simply the adductors kicking in to help with hip extension, not necessarily a problem. Now that is much different than someone who displays inward caving of the knees throughout the entire motion because they are untrained or lacking the coordination and control to keep the knees in a proper position. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, you can put those in the comment section. Otherwise, if you want to subscribe, my channel is all about how we can build a physically fit and functional body that will last throughout the course of our lives and help us to continue to do the things that we like to do.